Sharms complete, and oh my god, let me tell you, bro, that I got a few things to chat about. Number one, the side lateral raises on the machine, a fucking one, dude. Like, man, I take my shoulders. I feel like they can go so much further than the cable. I feel like my cable hits failure like sooner than that. Um, it's like I get stuck at an earlier point in the range of motion. But fucking amazing. Then the shoulder press, dude. Having my hands in front, I upped the pounds by five, or I upped the weight by 5 pounds, and I was still able to do pretty much the same reps. Probably got more, but dude, it was so nice on my shoulder. Like, ah, yeah, I might be done with the cables, the raises, and the front raises for now. Might be stepping away from that because these other two things just feel so good right now. But tricep press downs, I turned it into a drop set because I feel like I didn't get as good of a feeling in my triceps as I did with the extensions overhead. But I still went to failure twice, and they felt toast after. Like I tried to do a 20 pound rope press down, and it fucked. I was struggling after. So they were cooked, but I don't know. I kind of felt my chest in it a little bit, which isn't the worst thing. Not the best. Might have to change the handle. Might have to go to an angled just to only work triceps. But I know having the wrist slanted gives a better contraction on the triceps, but it also involves some wrist. But it's not that big of a deal. We'll see what works the best though. Going to the sauna right now. There's just a bit of traffic at the moment. Let's see if we can get a little topic. All right, so I guess this AI is telling me it says mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage, the three drivers of hypertrophy explained. So I guess AI is pretty much saying that those are the three drivers of muscle growth or hypertrophy, I guess, which is essentially. But muscle damage, that's just how intense you take it, how intense you eventually get, or the amount of volume you're doing if you're not as intense. And mechanical tension is just, I don't know if I really like that topic, to be honest. It's like a weird. Strength versus hypertrophy training, how to train for both without compromising either. So that's kind of what I do, right? I train for hypertrophy, but I train in a lower, somewhat lower rep range. So, and I'm basing all of my performance and pretty much everything is based off of my strength. So, training for strength, part of the strength adaptation is the neural drive and your ability to recruit muscle fibers. And going to failure helps increase those, and going to failure helps increase hypertrophy as well. So that's how you're going to get both worlds the best. You just got to make sure you're recovering on top of that. But I will catch you guys post sauna. So, peace. uh, I have somewhat cooled down from the sauna. It's not as hot outside right now. Like the sun's not out fucking beaming my shit right now. So, anyways, the topics I want to talk about in this little talk is pre-exhaust and superset. Pre-exhaust and superset kind of go together unless you take a rest after the pre-exhaust. If you take a rest after the pre-exhaust, it's no longer a superset. But pre-exhaust, what that means is, okay, I'm gonna hit the peg deck before I do a press. And why is that? Well, because the peg deck isolates the chest a lot better and lets me take it to failure before moving into my compound movement. And so it helps you take your chest to a greater point in failure, and it helps you feel it better in your second set. A superset is kind of linked. So let's say, for instance, Mike Mincer's 4-day program, like basic program, you superset the incline right after the pec deck. So you're hitting the pec deck, and within 5 to 10 seconds of finishing that set, you are starting your first rep on the incline bench, on the incline press. That is a superset and a pre-exhaust. Now, another way to look at a superset is maybe you do your triceps first, then you immediately jump into biceps. Personally, I think that's a waste of time because there is no way in hell you're taking your triceps to failure and using the cardio that takes, and then immediately after taking your biceps to the same level of failure. It's just not possible. It's too much cardio. It's not. It's not. No, you'll have better performance separating the sets. The superset I personally only use in a manner of a pre-exhaust if I'm trying to exhaust something before doing it. And I don't do supersets on cuts. Supersets are very, very, very high intensity. Like, if I had to rate intensity that's a pretty good topic. If I had to rate intensity techniques, first, let's throw them all out there, right? We have drop set, we have rest pause, we have like the cluster set, we have assisted reps, we have superset. Those are the first five I'm thinking about. If I had to rate those in terms of effectiveness, I would say cluster set is at the bottom because you're just doing too much volume or you're not going to failure. It's not worth it. Rest, no, let's see. I would say a rest pause is next if you're taking both sets in your drop set to failure. If you're taking both sets in your drop set to failure, I think the drop set was more intense. I don't really know though. I don't know. It's a good topic. I'm not a scientist, so honestly, they're all really good. But the superset is like trying to combine two fresh full sets into one, and yeah, it's just not. It's very very intense, man. It doesn't even bother me, but like people that just don't know how to deal with traffic or like drive, it's kind of crazy. But so those are all the intensity techniques. Let's see if we can get another topic in here. Oh, mobility and flexibility is a good one. So the only type of flexibility I focus on or mobility, like specifically target, is shoulder bands. Before chest, back, and shoulders and arms, I do shoulder bands wrapping around my head to warm up my rotator cuffs. And then specifically on shoulders and arm days, I do like with dumbbells, I do little rotator cuffs. I just call them shoulder rotations, but yeah, that's pretty much what they are. But that I used to get like crunchiness on my rotator cuff at times, and since I started doing that, that has yet to happen. Like it doesn't happen anymore. So But mobility and flexibility in terms of lifting, if you're using a full range of motion in all your sets, you're getting plenty of flexibility and mobility like in there, right? If you're completely stretching and using a full range of motion on everything, your muscles are going through a stretch and a flexibility type of training every single set. So I don't focus on this shit. It don't matter. It's like automatic. But I do recommend doing bands, and maybe I'll incorporate it in like a video. But it's very simple. Like I feel like you would just yeah maybe I'll record it. You just take the band and keep an overhand grip and just rotate and just think about rotating your shoulders around, and you can slowly progress to make it more of a stretch and more tension, and you'll notice over time how your shoulders are getting more flexible and stronger. So that is my take on that. Dude, my I wore my sweatpants in the sauna today, and they are literally soaked. Like it's kind of uncomfortable sitting here. It's an interesting one. Gym anxiety and how to overcome it. So I think gym anxiety is really just like a new thing. It's like when you're new to the gym or when you're at a new gym, and there's probably a sliver of insecurity that could be combined with that, and it like increases it. But once you're comfortable with your body and you know you're working hard and you're comfortable in the gym, I think gym anxiety completely goes away. Like that's it's really only like a newcomer thing. So yeah, kind of just chilling. Tomorrow I think it's supposed to be legs, but I'm really trying to figure out how to take legs to like 1 day a week without overlapping other things. Because this legs 2 days a week, I feel like it's very exhausting mentally. Like it's definitely weighing my system down a little bit. But I don't know what to do. I've thought about. I know my. I feel like my shoulders are lacking and my arms are lacking. Had this thought earlier in the gym session that maybe I do like a on my next bulk. I do like a phase where I don't worry about legs. Like I still do legs. Like maybe so. Like this is what it would look like hypothetically. Maybe I do every other day, and it's just two workouts, and I'm just back and forth, and we're doing chest, biceps, and shoulder, like one or two of the shoulders, and then quads or hams. And then the next day would look like back, triceps. I say chest and bicep and back and tricep to be fresh, but it might be worth it just to do the other way around. I'll be weaker in the isolation movements, but it's not really, it don't matter. So I think what it would be is chest, triceps, chest, triceps, probably no, probably front delts, chest, triceps, front delts, and quads. And then the other day would be back, biceps, side delt and rear delt, and then also hamstrings. But on the quad and hamstrings, I would just be looking to maintain. I wouldn't be trying to progress my legs. I would want to save my system recovery and adaptability for shoulders, arms, back, chest. So I feel like my legs are pretty advanced. Like, and they're just not the most. Uh, I feel like my shoulders and my arms really need to come up. So that might be the move. We'll see. We'll think about it more. That could be an interesting split for like 6 weeks, though. Nothing super long term, but for a short moment. But that's it for me. Adios, amigos.